All right, welcome back here, Div 3, calling the Audible. I'm Okan.
I'm Simon.
You almost hit your face on the mic, didn't you?
No, I stopped.
Yeah, you did. You almost hit your face. Replay that, please, for me.
We don't have the
You don't have
technology.
replay.
I thought we had the
Oh,
file.
that's so disappointing.
I'm Peas. I am slowly getting hydrated for the day.
Perfect.
I am Eagle. I am the worst Alex Aquila in FPF.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Because LGM lost to Cougars.
Bad.
Oh, that
Um,
was a bad game.
That
Did
was
they
an
know
ugly
they were getting the wrong Alex Aquila
No.
when they signed you?
They did not.
Okay.
You
Hey.
made some plays, though, Eagle. You had a PD, right?
I
You had
had
one?
a PD. I
Eagle
had a
tried to
catch.
get it covered.
I almost had an extra point.
No. Say it like it is.
I would have had an extra point if I grew 8 inches in a matter of 3 seconds.
Where? Vertically or
Which
in the-
direction?
8 inches?
Definitely height.
It's like 6 feet. Eagle
No.
at less elevation than if you would have
No,
stepped
the funny
out.
part was
Is he even 6 feet
But-
if he goes 8 inches?
no. What
I
Eagle's
don't
referring
think
to on
so,
an extra point
actually.
attempt, he went up in the air and he came down, 2 came off.
Oh,
At the same time,
5'11"
Simone and
now.
I laughed at him.
By
I
running
actually
forward-
heard you guys laugh from the sideline while I was going up for that ball.
Oh, you went up for it. That's amazing.
by Eagle
Part of
running,
a champion, man.
by Eagle
Height of
running
not a champion.
towards the ball, you actually gained less elevation than if you would have stood still.
But he was a beast of that. You look at Julio Jones for like a split second and realize, oh man, I'm like truly an element with that
Then you
skill.
realize he is not Julio Jones.
Oh, you look like Julio Jones, but you're 5'2".
Yeah. IG Gomes had a nice touchdown catch in that game.
You did.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the week that was. The best game that I've seen.
That's what we're doing.
I know, but it wasn't.
Transition!
It wasn't a good game.
It was not.
No, it was a terrible game. Terrible
It's
game.
the only one I saw.
The best game of the week, though, was the kissing your cousin game. The Jaguars
What?
against the Commission, 26 final.
Kissing your cousin? What?
Do I get to choose whose cousin I'm kissing?
Yes.
Yes,
Sorry,
Brett Botkin,
Simone.
game-tying touchdown.
I only have male
Les
cousins.
cousins dangereux.
It's okay.
Got it.
2019, bro.
It's okay. No choice, bro.
Brett Botkin, game-tying touchdown. The best game.
Brad
I thought.
Botkin caught the game-winning touchdown.
Game-tying touchdown. Game-tying touchdown.
So the tie touchdown, but then they didn't get the convert.
no, didn't get the convert.
They should have went to Brad Botkin, man. He
Exactly.
must have been open.
Feed the
Great.
highlight.
I mean, he got the touchdown.
Great game. A tie doesn't hurt or help them, but I just thought this was a real playoff feel to it. Both teams intense, good trash talking, big plays from both ends. Woody Apollon had a good game as well. Don Benevento had a huge game. Chris Olsen looking like a good Chris Olsen finally for the first time in a long time.
He has been looking good since he took over. This
Yeah,
team.
he's been good. He's been
But
fine.
they
for
had a
him.
bit of a dry spell of points for it early on in the year. They picked it up of late.
But he wasn't
when
there.
they didn't have Chris Olsen.
Yeah, that's right. But that's the point, though. The point.
I refuse to change my opinion with new
But here's the
information.
thing, though. Jaguars are missing their center, Oriel de
I love
Rosier,
you, Mo.
who
Yeah.
was a phenomenal snapper.
Yep.
I wonder if he was playing, if that game would have been a different scoreline for the Jaguars.
Probably, but Jaguars offensively didn't impress. I was speaking to Jimmy Lee after the game, well, not after the game, but a few days after. I said, "How do you only put up 26 points against Brad Botkin?" I told him like, it's not the fact that you tie it or lose or win. It's that you only put up 26. They put up 50 back-to-back weeks, and now they're putting this 26 dud. He was going for the record of 10 passing touchdowns,
Nowhere near that.
and then this. Like, so it's like a world of difference, and this is sort of what worries me about Jaguars this season is, yes, they can put up 55. They could also put up 20.
But that's just them for you in playoff time. At this point in the year, they always pull a choke.
That's the thing. So if it happens again in 2 weeks' time, so end of March, they're done. Just
Thanks,
because that
Captain
one bad
August.
game.
I like that he now knows what month it is.
Yeah.
How's
Oh,
the website
thanks.
coming? I asked you to produce a website.
No, he's producing nothing.
Thank you. It could be Angel Fire. It could be Tripod.
So another interesting game that happened. Les Malous lost to Brotherhood. The reason why this is interesting, Theo Ojea is back at quarterback for Brotherhood.
Is it the right move?
They beat Malud, which is probably one of the toughest teams.
But would you trust Theo or Lonnie Johnson at quarterback in playoffs?
Didn't we do this 2 weeks ago?
No, but
Probably.
some speaking to guys across the board, opponent teams, they've all said we think Lonnie Johnson would be more of a threat than Theo J would be at quarterback.
I disagree. I think that Theo Ojea brings a special something to Brotherhood. Listen, if I'm playing, which is most likely going to happen, if Lightweight's playing Brotherhood in the week 1 round playoffs,
You're
I
already
would
done.
rather have Theo as a receiver and Lonnie throwing the football than the other way around.
Right.
Well, then Theo playing quarterback with whoever weapons he has. He's a special athlete at quarterback that makes it very difficult for your defense because he can create so much more with his legs Then Lonnie.
And
ever could.
he doesn't create opportunities, and that he doesn't take chances, doesn't turn the ball over.
Well, he has in the past, but he also hasn't tried to run. Now that it's the playoffs and he needs to win, he's
That's what I'm
gonna
saying. But like sort of like playoff Theo
yes,
is just more focused.
he's gonna run
He's
so much
going to
more.
make plays. He's not concerned about I'm going to be a pocket passer. Like he's not trying to improve as a quarterback. He's just trying to win games.
He's also not trying to make people happy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. We're going to win this game. It doesn't matter how it happens. We're just going to do it. And that's the problem is we're going to be stuck facing him instead, and he's going to run for 100 yards.
That said, Sebastien
We'll see the road show.
Thibault, 3 sacks.
Yeah, but Sebastien Thibault is also able.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
There's not a lot of guys who can do
there's
that.
not a lot of Sebastien Thibault in this league.
No.
So you need to have a rusher like that. And Les Malheuds have him, but they lost this game 24-13 because the Brotherhood's defense is very good. Les Malheuds' offense has been good, but not great. And this showed. And considering this outcome this close to the playoffs, it shows that Brotherhood is no pushover into the playoffs, even as a 5th seed. And I think it shows more to Brotherhood's credit than to Malheuds' weakness, flaw.
Mhm.
But like this to me doesn't make Malheuds the easier game to play, but it makes Brotherhood tougher to fight against.
Shet winning over Trinity 38-20.
It was not a pretty game. Trinity
No.
doesn't look the part.
No, Trinity, that's a bad loss for them because now they're
It's
in
a bad loss. They're in a bad spot. They are not. They're still in, but they
they have they are on the fringes right now. They're in the playoff spot right now, but they're on the fringes if they were to
the reason
lose.
why they're still in is because the other teams are not playing well.
Well, Junkyard Dogs have 2 games left on their schedule. If they were to win out and the Trinity lost, then
Yeah, Junkyard Dogs are most likely going to push them out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Top Sauce are officially eliminated from playoffs.
I was going to say, in that game, Simone,
Aye.
you eliminated Top Sauce.
Vince Nardone, very proud, very fun.
Your record against Top Sauce is actually pretty astounding.
Against Top Sauce, it is. Against Vince Nardone as a person, not so much.
Yeah.
Because Incredibles, as always.
But so, like, what was the issue? Like, you saw them now up close and personally play the game against them. What was
so they're offense.
when this Vince Nardone shows up? Why is that the case? Why is it that they can't score?
So their offense is atrocious. They it's
Yes,
not.
but why?
Yeah, so it's not just.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can only complain so much.
So it's not just Vince, but so I was watching the game from the sidelines because I was playing it. I don't do defense. Vince Nardone on the first 2 drives was 2 for 8 for like 14 yards. So yes, he was missing certain throws, and he has guys like Canton Lowe, who's a big target, difficult to miss. So that's on him. But if on 3rd and 10 you hit a receiver at 10 yards in the chest and he drops it, that's not your fault. So Vince is the sort of quarterback that's not gonna make every single throw.
So you need to help him.
He's going to miss at times. If you give him a 4th and 10, it's a 50-50
He's
chance.
a rhythm quarterback.
He's not going to hit that pass.
He's a rhythm quarterback.
But you don't put him in that situation. He had so many drops from Jared Gallant, from Terry Tam. Jim Kaletris had some drops. He missed a lot of throws to
Justin
Cannon
McLean,
Lowe.
did he play?
Justin McLean wasn't there.
He's been hurt.
But apparently he's been having
But they added Jared Gallant in his place.
Yeah. He's been having a tough season too. I heard that hasn't been playing great with them. There are a lot of drops, a lot of miscommunications.
There's a bit of like I've score capped 1 or 2 of their games, and
Top Sauce?
I just find that you're right. I think there's a bit of disconnect with McLean and the philosophy of offense being employed by Vince Nardone and how he's utilized in that whole scheme.
Justin wasn't there, so I can't testify for that. But even Chris Millar wasn't used that much. Like he's the Div 1 receiver, Div 2 receiver for sure, borderline Div 1 receiver, Div 1 defensive player. Didn't get a lot of targets. At the end of the day, when the game was on the line, you didn't go to Chris.
Right.
You didn't use him a lot, and he's your best player on the field. You should go to him 10 times in the game.
Yeah.
If you're struggling, go back to what works best for you. Go back to your number 1 guy. And considering the defense that we had and the personnel that we had, because we're missing a bunch of guys, we didn't key more on Chris than anybody else. The defense was called as a very static defense, and it's not so much that lightweight made plays; it's that Top Sauce did not.
PZ, any games you saw from Div 3?
I just brought that one up. And now I don't have the sheet open.
All right, perfect.
Martin and the Flag lost to Olympia Performance. The reason why this matters, Olympia Performance is out of the playoffs, but Martin and the Flag lost their tops. They were the winner of the division before this game. Now KGP is in the 2 seed. Martin and the Flag could drop all the way down to like 6th or 7th. If they win next week, if Martin and the Flag wins next week, they're playing against. I will find the insert in a second. I'm looking through this thing here. Martin and the Flag is playing Score Your Girlfriend. If they're able to win next week, they're going to seize that 2nd seed again, the divisional title or whatever. they're going to be a second seed. It's going to make it easier for them to play in the playoffs and give them an easier round 1 matchup.
Yeah.
Well, on paper, it might not be if it's Cougars. If Cougars still hold on to the 7th spot,
Yeah, but that could also move.
but I wouldn't trust. Like, and AJ Gomes made a good point. He goes,
So you're saying you'd rather not be the second seed?
no, I'm saying I'd rather not play the Cougars.
Yeah, I agree
But,
with you.
but AJ Gomes made a good point, though, saying that his young defense, and I remember squeaking in his first game against Brotherhood where they were down by 3 scores and ended up winning by a score. I wouldn't want to face that defense. They're starting to pick it up and figure it out now how to play this FPF
Well,
game.
because a lot of guys are very good individually. They just don't mesh well together. They need more time, and they're getting there. Like,
Well,
the
and now
defense
they've
is-
had 10 weeks.
Yeah, the
Awoki's
defense is
really
slowly
good, though.
getting there. The guys are more comfortable in their position, their assignments, and they're calling a defense that works better for them. Right?
Jason
Yeah.
Wokey's really good, though.
He's very good. Man.
He's very good, and he's going to be going beyond his surface of what he can be. He's going to be a phenomenal player as he gets older and more mature in this league.
He's very good. But this to me is shocking that Master Flag lost 19-13. This was the gimme game that they had on their schedule that would have given the second seed as a lock.
Yeah.
And then you see what happens as a 7th seed, but the Cougars is a good chance they're going to win this week and move up in the seedings.
Why are we covering them a second time? I'm so confused.
Well, because we weren't talking about
Yeah.
Cougars, but then we sort of jumped.
I guess.
So, but
Cougars do play the commission.
but how do you drop this game though?
It's a bad loss. It really is.
Like
And-
Olympic Performance is not a bad team, but
No, they're bad.
their offense is not good,
Olympic Performance has no business being in Div 3.
and they just
Yeah.
beat a team that's going to be second seed.
Yeah.
That was going to be second seed.
But there's like complacency when like you know you're the better team. The game doesn't matter for you. You know.
I guess at some point, but you did throw like 13 points, 3 interceptions. Right? Like,
I don't think it'll phase them, to be honest. I don't think it matters.
I hope
No.
not, because it's not the right time now.
Correct.
Like,
Is there anything else? Like, because
No.
you came at me aggressively, like you're going to disagree, but then you're just like, I support you.
Passive aggressively, yes. All right, let's check out the playoff standings for Div
Playoff.
3.
Did you send it?
All right, here we go. So the teams in green are in,
yes.
and that is Les Studs, KGP, Le Malud, and Lightweight. Is that confirmed Brotherhood correct, right? So
Yep.
5 teams. So that means we have Martin Le Flag, Cougars, Trinity still in play, but in very strong positions to clinch. Junkyard Dogs still there at 3 and 5.
Yeah.
And
Everybody's in a good spot except like so. Martin and the Flag and Cougars are in a good spot. Trinity is shaky-ish because Junkyard Dogs are a game behind, but they still have 2 games to play. And Tops is in because they still have 2 games to play. If they win out, they could theoretically jump Trinity.
Okay, so right now, I think the Cougars are going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, so I think Cougars, Martin and the Flag, they're pretty much a lock. Like it's
I
gonna
think
happen.
Trinity's going to be the outside.
The only that depends on Junkyard Dogs.
And I don't know what Junkyard Dogs, which team will show up.
So
That's
for
the-
Cougars, they'll clinch with a loss from Junkyard Dogs or Trinity. For Martin Le Flag, they could clinch with a win or loss from Trinity or Junkyard Dogs or Cougars. So a lot of options.
Yep.
Junkyard Dogs could clinch if they win out, or plus Trinity loses or Cougars lose.
Yep.
Weirdly worded.
Yeah.
Top
So-
season could clinch, but they're in red.
No, so the reason why it's weirdly worded is because you need both teams to lose for
But
them
why
to be
is
in a
top
three-way.
season? There's a write up for top season, but they're in red.
They're not in red.
No.
Top sauce is in red,
top
but
season.
top
I'm sorry, I misread.
yeah, it's
Okay.
just because it's
Just
the same
two
color.
tops. Two tops. Top season could clinch out. It could clinch if they win out, and Trinity and Junkyard Dogs lose out.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
that's correct.
So that's a very unlikely scenario,
Yeah.
right? But it's still there. Like I wouldn't be shocked to see Top season win out the last 2 games.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's just they also need help. Is the
But
issue.
they also need Junkyard Dogs to lose out the next 2 games, and Junkyard Dogs are going to win or
Well,
go
they need
home.
Trinity and Junkyard Dogs to lose out.
Yep.
So that's
That's 3 games that
Yeah,
needs that
three-
to go their way.
4 things need to happen.
No, well,
You need to win.
you need to
Junkyard
win
Dogs-
2 games, and you need 2 teams to lose 3 games, right?
Yeah.
So you need 5 games to go your way. You're asking for a lot.
Yeah.
But Junkyard
They
Dogs,
need
I
5
find
things.
Junkyard Dogs are playing Blue Chips, and they're playing the Blue Chips last game of the week, but they're playing Top Season and Blue Chips, so they can knock down Top.
Also,
Season.
it's not so bad because top season has a little bit of control, right? Like
Yeah, so
they gotta win that game.
so that means Junkyard Dogs has a loss, but then Junkyard Dogs would also just beat them and it's finished for them.
Yeah, correct.
All right, in Conference B, a little bit more of a unpredictable situation as Eagles dress shirts starting to pop open now. Eagle, Oh boy.
Hello.
It's all those puffs.
yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. You
Slouching.
are
So
slouching.
Someone's getting puffy.
So Tats, Blue Chips, Dirty Dogs, Bearskins, and shit are clinched.
Yes.
Commission, Jaguars,
Crew.
the crew.
Sweat
thank
and
you.
beers.
Scored your girlfriend
All
are
5
still in
wins.
contention.
And score your girlfriend. Yeah, 4 wins.
So Sweat and Beers are in a very good spot at the moment. They have,
Because they could clinch with a win in the next 2 weeks.
they have 2 games and they just need 1 win.
Yeah.
So it's a very good position to be in. I'm a bit surprised considering they've been playing well, but not that great, for instance. But they could finish 7-3.
That went over top.
That's what I'm saying.
sauce.
Because they're 5-3. So you see that you're like, how are they not in the playoffs yet? It's just because they have 2 games
It's
remaining.
crazy.
Yeah.
Which makes it interesting. The crew could clinch with a win. If they lose, they're out. Jaguars could clinch with a win or the crew loss, or Scourger GF loses one of the next 2.
Yeah, so the reason why, the crew are playing Sweat and Beers this week.
Yeah.
So if they lose, that means Sweat and Beers jumps them automatically. The
Yeah.
crew's out. So it's basically a win in your end game for the crew, but not for Sweat and Beers.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
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 Even though Sweat and Beers
Because even
at
if
the
they lose
moment
that
have
game,
a better record.
they could still jump.
Yeah.
Commission Jaguars both win. They're in at 13 points.
Yep.
But the commission could also clinch
with the Sweat and Beers loss.
or score your girlfriend loses one of the next 2.
Yeah, so commission because they're higher with divisional record.
Yeah,
they
score,
can be
score your girlfriend need. Yeah, we did that one already.
higher. Yeah, they need to win.
Like if
somehow.
Commission Jaguars win, Score Your Girlfriend cannot catch those 2 teams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's going to come down to, well, like you said, Commission, Jaguars, how they play this week, because that tie helps them in the way that it keeps them away from that pack.
Tiebreaker, yeah.
But that win would have secured the playoff spot for either of these teams.
Yes, of course. Which wasn't good or which wasn't bad, but it might cost them in the end because that tie could be split points here.
And the crew's going to have a huge game this week against Sweat and Beers.
I look at that Cougars game against the Commission, and man, that's just a tough game for the Commission. Can they come up with another performance against a very good Cougar defense?
So I think the Commission's going to lose this game,
Mhm.
but
You
still
think
make
so?
the playoffs.
Really?
I think they're going to lose this game in particular against
And
the
backdoor
Cougars.
their way through.
But I don't think that they're going to be knocked down.
They're just in a good enough position to hold on.
Yeah, 5-4-1
Yeah.
should make playoffs in FPF, right? Like you're 11 points, you should make playoffs. So I think they're going to be all right, but then they're going to fall at the bottom of the pile, and they're going to play either the Alpha T's or Blue Chips, which is 2 very bad matchups for them.
Yeah, so, and we talked a lot about teams needing help. The site www.simoneedshelp.com is now officially up. So you can help Simo by visiting the site, and there's nothing to do on the site. There's a generic picture, and it's not even mobile friendly.
And it's not even my league. It's not even my
It's
picture.
like it's not even mobile
But-
friendly. Like if you like try and shrink it to read Simone Needs, like the S isn't there. Like it doesn't fit the screen.
so
It's just the #1 football player fantasy.
That's such a Simon website too.
Sorry, it is. It's
It-
this is the Simone of websites.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
But how though? Why?
because it's intercepted right on the sideline.
so FPF, should they be proud of the fact that we have one
I threw one of those this week.
conference that could have 6 wins and not be enough to get in the playoffs?
6 wins now.
Division 3 is tough this
It's
year.
been awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
it's tough because there's 3 teams with a combine of 6 points, and that's the reason why these teams are so strong. Is because they're feeding off 3 teams that don't belong there.
Yeah.
Like the Magician, Olympia Performance, and Big Ballers are essentially feeding wins to everybody else in this conference, which gives everybody 2 or 3 wins extra. So instead of being 4-6 or 5-5, everybody's at 6-4.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's just a bigger record, but that doesn't mean you're a better team this season just because you fed off.
For sure. Top Sauce, LGM, Freshman, The Magicians, Olympia Performance, and Big Ballers. Look, go have fun this week. Play your game. Go
Oh,
drinking
for
with your boys after the game.
I mean,
Enjoy it.
I mean,
Enjoy
you
every
You
moment.
can still play spoilers too. Like some of these teams, if you're playing one of these playing games, so if you're playing, let's say in the Commission this week, beat the crap out of them, knock them out of the playoffs. Because why not? Well, on
Don't
Commission
physically-
loss would,
don't
would
physically
a
just.
No
commission
fighting.
loss would put them at a severe
Yeah.
disadvantage.
So that's what I'm saying. Just if you're playing one of these teams, have fun with it.
But out of these teams like Dirty Dogs, Bearskins, even Commission, Jaguars, do they even pose as a legitimate threat towards Blue Chips or Tats?
Well, so we talked about Jaguars. If the good Jaguars shows up and they've put up 50, then yes, they're a threat to even the Alpha T's. Problem is, will they? Like it's one of the teams that they can't. I don't think that shit or Bearskins have the offense to put a 50 the same way Jaguars do.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side,
I feel like as the night's going on, you're just adding points. Like it was like 40, then it was 42, and 45, and 47. Now it's 50.
50, bro.
But Division 1 is like you score 68 points.
But I just feel like it's one of those teams that has a lot of potential, but they're also their floor is very low.
Yeah.
Right? Like Jaguars could just drop a dud and score 18 and lose
Yeah.
40-18.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very tricky matchup to have, and I would rather not play Jaguars this season just because of that. But I'm also confident that they're gonna lose out, and I won't have to face them, sort of thing.
Peace. When you look at Conference A and those teams right now, could I'm not saying Lightweight's going to go fire, but could
don't think
Lightweight
so.
be the dark horse team in this conference?
So Lightweight is one of those teams that is very matchup dependent. The problem is that matchup is the Brotherhood, where Simon will never win that game.
So what I'm hoping
Like,
happens.
do you even have a game plan?
So what I'm hoping happens is Brotherhood falls to 6th seed.
What
and then I
you're
play Martin
hoping
the
is
Flag.
they fall asleep and miss the game.
No. I'm hoping that Martin the Flag wins, jumps Brotherhood. Now I play Martin the Flag instead, or KGP, and Brotherhood plays like Les Malouds, for instance, and then I never see them in the playoffs until the very end, which I'm fine to lose in the conference too. So that way I don't have to play them.
Essentially,
and
the teams that need that someone else needs to beat for you is Les Stud and the Brotherhood.
It's the two teams that I don't want to play, and Les Studs I'm not going to play until the very end, anyways, most likely. So it's really just Brotherhood. I was hoping.
Well, unless all four favorites win,
yeah,
and then you face the
Yeah.
second round.
that
boy.
could happen. I'm just, to me, I was really hoping Les Malouds would win, so the Brotherhood would fall down lower in the seedings, and I would be cleared of facing them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can book Simon's tickets for the road show April 13th and 14th.
Yeah. It's I mean, we beat them once this season, but then I mean, there's like a bemol to that because Theo wasn't there.
I know you were here last week, Peasler. You were on a drunken bender in Savannah, Georgia.
Jesus. Yeah.
Savannah.
Open container city.
Okay.
You can walk around with your containers of alcohol,
Open.
open and drinking.
Is
There's like 12 people in that city. Well, not Savannah, but where you were, there was like
Yeah.
12 people.
No, and like it's so we're on an island 30 minutes out of town from Savannah, and it's where like everyone has their beach houses,
Yeah.
and it's not beach season. So literally all the other houses were dark.
So it's like
There was
You
there was
guys
like
really
12
want-
people and 40 cops.
so it's like right now if you
so 40 cops came by for a drink or two?
Yeah, it was fun. Nice
That's
people.
it's like now if you go to Oka, there's nobody.
Yeah.
Essentially, you went to Oka
Yeah,
in March.
yeah, exactly.
Chris Rivet made this point last week to us.
He was wrong.
A Tats Les Malouds final, would that be the most desirable final in Div 3?
I
Excuse
don't
me?
want to watch
Say that
the
again?
Malad.
Tats against Les Malouds.
I don't want to watch
Tats
the
and
Malad.
Studs.
Tat and Studs or Tats. Yeah, Tats and Studs. That's the only thing I want to watch.
Oh, Tats the Brotherhood could be fun again.
Tats and like Trinity, if they go on a run, it's like, oh, that's awesome, you know?
Tats.
You know what I mean? Like the story of like a low ranked team going up against like,
The Goliaths.
yeah.
Didn't Brotherhood play Tats in the playoffs like not so long ago? Didn't that happen?
I think so. I think Brotherhood won that game.
I
I
think
don't think the Alpha T's have ever lost the final.
Oh,
No.
sorry. I meant Studs against Brotherhood. I think that's what you meant, right?
no Tats Brotherhood.
Tats. No, I don't think that happened. No.
To me, considering how this is playing out, I don't see the Studs losing to anybody since they added Zachary Alexis to their team. Their defense is not very good, and I don't see them losing.
Is this the best division of compelling storylines for any division across the board, Div 3?
I think so. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, so you have a brand new team in the crew that might make the playoffs
Mm.
in a tough division. You have the Studs with the second season moving up. They could have fit in Division 4, by the way. The roster fits,
Yeah.
which is crazy. KGP, they've always been in Division 3, never really been a powerhouse. Les Malouds
So
moved up too,
Division 3 has the advantage that a lot of teams stay in Division 3 a long time.
but there's also a
So
lot
there's a lot
guys
of
moving up,
rivalries,
right?
a lot of
Yeah.
you know, like there's it's a communal division. The same way like you get a lot of teams that stick around Division 6 for a long time. Like that's why you get storylines, right?
But if you look across the board, let's just do Conference A.
Mm-hmm.
Les Studs a new team in Division 3. Malouds a new team.
Not really. They played Division 3 already. They did.
Was it 3? No, it wasn't 3. It was 4
Yes.
last year.
But they played. I played against someone with Darksiders.
Oh, okay.
But
But
they've played Division 3
okay.
before.
Trinity's new to Division 3. Cougars not. Martin the Flag is new to Division 3. Junkyard Dogs is new to Division 3. Top Season is new to Division 3. And Freshman. So out of 13 teams, 7 are new to the division.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And like Division 3 has never been a 26 division team. It's never been this big before. So a
Yeah.
lot of teams are challenging themselves moving up, and most of them are having success. So it's fun to see that, even a Division 4 team could challenge themselves in Division 3 and compete really well.
It reminds you of a time where it was like a lot of teams moving up from like even Division 5 to Division 3. And
Yeah.
they're all, like I remember it was like the Budays were up there. Like,
Buddies,
like there's a lot of like familiar teams
moved
moved up.
Yeah.
And we're all competitive. Like 7 of them moved up and 6 made the playoffs.
Yeah, it was that season back when you still had Moose
Yeah,
and
exactly,
Buddies
yeah.
moved up and Mustangs, and everybody moved up at the same time. So we all played each other again, which is essentially playing the same teams.
Yeah.
It's called a rivalry.
Yeah, it was pretty good, man.
Speaking of rivalry, it's now time for.
Games of the week.
Why did you start speaking without the microphone?
Because he's on his fucking Warlock games on his fucking iPhone.
Play your Warlock games when you're not working.
Warlock game.
What is a warlock, Mo?
What's a Warlock game? It's like reindeer games. Do you get to kill reindeer as a Warlock? Wow. They have confusing laws.
You have
The warlocks or the reindeers?
Both.
You're a confusing law.
All right,
Can you train a reindeer in the arts of a warlock?
perhaps. All right, here we go.
Green
Game
light.
number one.
Jaguars, sweat and beers.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Give me the beers.
I'm gonna go Jags.
Jaguars.
Top sauce, LGM.
Top sauce.
Bottom
Top
sauce.
sauce.
Bottom sauce bowl.
Top sauce.
I'm gonna go top sauce.
The Commission, Cougars.
I'm gonna go
Cougars.
commission on this one.
Oh yeah, now you do. Now you're back on the banner.
I'm
The
gonna
brand
go
bucket.
commission on this one because
I'm gonna go-
because you know why? They need to win more than the Cougars do right now.
You keep on saying,
I'm gonna go
Chris Olsen,
Cougars.
which Chris Olsen's gonna play. Oh, Chris Olsen's gonna
I'll
play.
put faith in Chris Olsen this week.
Top season, the Magicians.
Top season.
Top season.
Top season.
Trinity, lightweight.
Lightweight.
I'm picking myself, but that doesn't mean shit.
Lightweight.
Freshman, Olympia performance.
Freshman.
Freshman.
Yes.
South Harmon Institute
Shit.
of Technology. Scored your girlfriend.
Shit.
Yeah, give me shit.
Shit.
Fuck you, Simon.
Okay.
Because he said to give him shit.
Wow.
Top season, Junkyard Dogs.
Top season.
Top season.
Junkyard Dogs.
Sweat and Beers, The Crew.
Sweat and beers.
The Crew.
The Crew. I like this one
Junkyard
for the
Dogs, Blue Chips.
Blue Chips.
Blue chips.
Scored your girlfriend, Martin et le Flag.
Martin the flag.
Yeah.
Nope. Score your girlfriend.
And
Really?
last game.
Is that because it's the thing you need to happen?
No. I need Master Fight to win, but I just don't think they will. I think they're gonna curse me.
Okay. Weird.
I
How you
think
make
they
it
just
about
ate
yourself?
And last game, Dirty Dogs, Olympia performance.
Dirty dogs.
Yes.
Dirty dogs.
All right, magic words, please.
Let's all return to Zion.
5 for 5. Off to a good start today. Good night. Who are they playing today?
Syracuse.
Syracuse. Good night, Syracuse.
That was so clicky.
Who went to TSN today?
I thought they were playing Virginia for some reason. Syracuse. Virginia won everything today.
So,
This
if
is
you were
something-
to turn a reindeer into a warlock and you give them the cloak, would it have arms and legs and you'd have to stand upright? Or would it be kind of like
it would be like BoJack Horseman, but with magic.
Oh, that'd be cool,
Yeah.
actually.
Harry Hojack.
Eh,